10:52. So I really thought the joke was on me that we start at 11 o'clock, but I guess I'm the brunt of that joke. But anyways, let us begin with we have a couple of final plea matters for 11 o'clock, and that would be, I have an Antonio Gray. Antonio Gray, are you present?
Yes, I
Yes,
am.
Your Honor. And this is Kenneth Mitchell, his attorney as well, Your Honor.
All right, sir. Okay, and we have gotten the paperwork for all squared away. Who's our prosecutor in this matter?
Your Honor, it's Erica Marshall Story, and yes, the paperwork is taken care of. You should have everything.
I do have everything. Okay, great. All right. First of all, Mr. Gray, you have a right. Where is he gone to? Antonio Gray and counsel, Mr. Mitchell, please start your video. Thank you. All right, Mr. Mitchell, first of all, Mr. Gray, this is going to be addressing the pleas for cases number 17 CR 004502G and 17 CR 018024G. With respect to both cases, the one ending in 4502G is regarding a February 15th, 2015 incident in which you were accused of DUI under the influence of alcohol less safe, DUI of alcohol and drugs, DUI under the influence of alcohol per se, expired or no driver's license, failure to maintain lane, speeding, DUI under the influence of drugs, DUI under the influence of glue, aerosol, or toxic vapor. With respect to the case ending in 8024G, you were accused of driving without a valid license, operating a motor vehicle with an expired or no license plate, failure to maintain lane, and failure to have license on person. And this was from a July 25th, 2015 incident. We are going to address a negotiated plea. Is that correct, Ms. Marshall Story?
That is correct, Your Honor. I have had the opportunity to discuss this plea with Mr. Mitchell, Attorney Mitchell, who in turn has discussed it with his client.
All right, excellent. Mr. Gray, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say about the facts of both cases, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney, and Mr. Mitchell will be representing you. For purposes of this plea hearing, Mr. Mitchell, you agree this is a negotiated plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Gray, please raise your right hand. It's just for purposes of the plea. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Marshall Story, is this going to be a concurrent sentence for both charges?
Your Honor, the state is willing to dismiss all of the charges except for the driving without a license on case ending in 24G. So not really concurrent. The $200 fine will stand on its own for that matter.
All right. So with regards to case number 17 CR 004502G, is the state dismissing it or entering a null pros?
The state in this case, Your Honor, that is the DUI charge. The state has agreed to reduce that charge to reckless driving. That amended citation or that amended case filing has been made and established in Odyssey. Yes, the sentence, Your Honor, is 12 months to serve 24 hours with credit for time served. The balance being probated, 40 hours of community service, the DUI risk reduction program, $500 fine, one MAD panel, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and a $300 plea on the driving with no license. I will null pros those remaining charges. As soon as the plea is tendered, I'll send that to the court.
All right, thank you. Mr. Mitchell, has your client completed any of the conditions requested by the state?
Yes, Your Honor. My client has completed the community service as well as the DDS driving class.
And I do have that certificate, Your Honor.
So this will be in substitution of the risk reduction program. Okay, so we're still left with the $500 fine, the one MAD impact panel, and the $300 remainder fine for driving without a valid license. Is that what remains?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Mr. Mitchell, anything else to add with regards to the recommendation?
No, Your Honor, I just wanted to reiterate from one of our earlier days that Mr. Gray has really put this behind him. He's went on and gone to law school. He's trying to be a productive citizen in society, and I just think he has a bright future ahead of him. So we would just humbly ask if you would accept our recommendation, Your Honor.
All right. And do you stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID for the charge of reckless driving and driving without a valid license for those particular cases?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Gray, presently, if you could unmute your screen, please. All right. Presently, have you consumed any kind of medication, drugs, or alcoholic beverages?
No, no, ma'am.
And have you understood the proceedings so far?
Yes, ma'am.
And you've gone over the details of the waiver of rights as well as the explanation of your counsel. Are you satisfied with this representation?
Yes, ma'am.
And is anyone forcing you to take or inducing you to take these pleas today?
No, ma'am.
All right. In taking this pleas, you would have to waive your constitutional rights to go back to court, to have a trial before the judge or a jury, to have the assistance of counsel in order to challenge the state's evidence, present your defenses, examine witnesses, cross-examine them, as well as confront your accuser. Furthermore, you would have to waive the right for the state to have to prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to waive these rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you prepared to take this plea, notwithstanding any adverse impact it may have upon your residency or your professional status?
Yes.
Are you taking this plea willingly, knowingly, and voluntarily?
Yes.
How do you plead to one count of reckless driving?
Guilty.
And how do you plead to one count of driving without a valid license?
Guilty.
For the both charges, the sentence is concurrent, and that would be 12 months to serve 24 hours credit for time served. You'll be placed on probation to complete the remaining conditions of your sentence. You have completed the 40 hours of community service as well as the risk reduction class. So that leaves the $500 fine, the $300 fine, and attending and completing one MADD impact panel class. Yes. Ms. Marshall Story, I wrote down $300 fine for the reckless driving. Was it 200?
No, it was a $300 fine, Your Honor, for the driving with no license, and a $500 fine for the reckless driving.
Okay.
The
So I got the right
$200
amount.
fine is on the following case that you'll take a plea on.
Oh, I see.
Good morning. Respectfully, Ms. Marshall Story, is this defendant charged under 40-5-20 with the valid, not driving with the valid license?
I will have to pull up the
Because if
case.
so, I believe the mandatory fine is a $500 fine. I don't want to put a quirk in this, Your Honor, but I just had to interject because if it's 40-5-20 driving without a license, he still has to be sentenced. I think the mandatory 2 days in custody and a $500 fine. That's the valid and legal sentence pursuant to 40-5-121, which is a sentencing for 40-5-20. If I can just inquire as to how he is charged.
Okay, I am pulling that up right now.
Mr. Mitchell, what was your client pleading guilty to? -20 or no license on person? What are we doing?
I need to verify that as well.
Yes, Your Honor, if the state's going to amend to no license on person, but if he's pleading to 40-5-20, then that's a different sentence that the court must impose pursuant to the statute.
It says expired or no driver's license.
What's the code
The
section?
code section, hold on, I'm pulling that up.
What position is this on the calendar? I have the calendar.
It's the only final plea calendar at 11 o'clock.
It's 40-5-32A.
Okay, well then that's the no license on person, okay.
Yeah, okay. All right, so the charge is really just driving with no license on person. Okay, so we're still going to maintain the $300 fine. Okay, Mr. Mitchell, when will your client be able to complete the remainder of the conditions?
Your Honor, we would request a reasonable time, maybe 90 days.
Okay, so he will report to probation at 132 Mitchell Street, and he will do so. Let me see, we have a good address on him, so he would need to report when probation sends him a notice. I don't know whether they do it in person or whether they do it via Zoom. But he will report to probation until the remainder of the conditions are completed, which is the one mat panel and the remainder of the $800 fine. And he will continue to report to probation as soon as these conditions are completed. As soon as they're done, then he will be on a non-reporting basis. While he's on probation, whether it's active or non-reporting, he will abstain from all alcoholic beverages and illegal drugs.
Understood.
All right. Anything else to add, Mr. Mitchell, Mr. Gray?
No, Your Honor, we thank you for accepting the recommendation.
All right, thank you. Ms. Marshall-Story, please be sure to submit the correct address and information so that probation may contact Mr. Gray.
I believe his probation form is already filled out also, Your Honor. Is that correct,
Okay.
Attorney Mitchell?
That is correct.
I'm looking through this stack, so. Okay. The general conditions of probation. I'm sorry, I'm going through this huge stack and I don't see, oh, here it is at the very bottom of the stack. All right, thank you. Okay,
Thank
anything
you.
else, folks?
No,
We
may we
still
be
have that
excused, Your Honor?
second plea.
Oh, okay.
We still have that second plea, Your Honor, on Mr. Gray.
I just took plea on 2 cases. I'm trying to find his second case, his third case.
Well, no, Your Honor, that was all one plea. It just happens to be the same charge.
All right, I took a plea on 17 CR 004502G,
Correct.
reckless driving.
Yes.
And I took a plea on 17 CR 018024G.
No, Your Honor.
License on person.
No, the plea that the defendant took should have been to 17 CR 004502G, where he pled guilty to 2 charges. The first charge being the reckless driving, the second being the driving with no license.
Okay, Ms. Marshall-Story, I like to take cases together. I don't piecemeal them. Okay, so let me be absolutely certain. I rattled off both the cases when we began with this plea, both of them. And I'm trying to understand now on position 1, ending in 4502G, I thought all the charges were being null pros and 1 DUI was being reduced to reckless driving. Was there an additional charge to that case?
The additional charge to that case, Your Honor, was the driving with no license, where the fine is $300.
All right. So, all right. So, Mr. Mitchell, is that your understanding that he was pleading guilty to 2 charges in a case ending in 4502G?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So let me amend the record by indicating that the plea we just took and the sentence I just rendered was with regards to case ending 17 CR 004502G. Now with case ending with 17 CR 018024G, what is he pleading?
He is also pleading to a driving without license on person charge, Your Honor. I will null process the remaining charges and the fine is $200.
That was where the confusion was, 200. Okay. All right. Mr. Mitchell, do you stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID for case ending in 17 CR 18024G?
Yes, Your Honor, for purposes of this hearing.
All right. And Mr. Gray, I do apologize for the confusion, but all right, when I was giving you the recitation for whether you understand the terms of the plea, I was under the impression that it was also for the second case. So without belaboring the point, are you entering a plea that's willing, voluntary, and knowingly with regard to driving without a valid license on, no license on person with regards to the July 25th, 2015 incident?
Yes.
All right. Your fine is $200, and once you'll be on probation, you need to pay that off too. And as soon as you pay that off, your probation will be non-reporting. Anything else? No?
No,
All
Your
right.
Honor.
Not
Good.
from the state, Your Honor.
All right.
May we be
Thank you.
excused, Your Honor?
Yes, Mr. Mitchell. Thank you so much. And I do apologize for the delay.
No problem. All right.
All right, folks. We're going to start with our 11:30 show cause calendar. No, sorry, 11 o'clock show cause calendar.
Hmm.
Your Honor, you're on mute.
Sorry, thank you for that. Mr. Savage, we're here to take a plea on Javon Savage. Anyone here?
She,
Oh, it's a she? Okay.
yes,
thank you.
ma'am.
And who is
Hi.
representing Ms. Savage?
So I spoke to the Fulton County representative, letting them know that I could not find an attorney. I've also applied for a public defender, and I was not applicable for it. And when I spoke to the representative, I think last name was Jordan, I asked him if there was a way of me paying the fine through the website, and he said to just attend the virtual Zoom and see if that's something that can be done.
All right.
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Savage does not qualify for the services of public defender's office.
Okay.
However, she does, if she would like to speak with the solicitor's office herself today, she has the ability to do so, but she is correct. She does not qualify for the public defender's services.
All right. Ms. Marshall-Story, are you prosecuting this matter?
Yes, Your Honor, I am. I was aware that Ms. Savage was trying to hire a private attorney. I was not sure whether or not she was able to do that. We do have an offer that we can extend to her.
All right. Ms. Savage, I'm going to place you in a breakout room with Ms. Marshall-Story and Ms. So that you may discuss a possible plea offer from the state. Please remember that you have a right to remain silent about the facts of your case. Anything you say, your comments can and will be used against you in the event that they prosecute this matter in a court of law before a judge or a jury. You also
Okay.
have a right to an attorney. If you do not qualify for the public defender's office, you have a right to represent yourself or hire a private attorney. If you're representing yourself, please be aware that you would be responsible for understanding the legal laws and the criminal procedures as how they apply to the facts of your case. Do you have any questions?
No.
All right.
Your Honor, I am handling this calendar myself, and I have some other responses for you. Is it possible that Ms. McCutcheon either address this matter in the breakout room, or if you could hold until we have a break, and I'd be happy to speak with Ms. Savage then.
Well, if we can, Your Honor, can we just provide the plea offer on the record? That way there's no issue about the defendant wanting to give us any self-serving, non-exculpatory statements or mitigation, and we cannot advise the defendant. Can we just place the plea offer on the record? Typically, Judge, what happens in the breakout room is that the pro se defendants want to get advice, they want to discuss the case. So can we just give the plea offer in open court via the Zoom?
Sure, why not? Ms. Savage, if you have a pen and paper, start writing this down. This is what they're recommending if you decide to plead guilty or no contest to the charge. Go ahead, Ms. Marshall-Story.
Yes, Ms. Savage, if you are able to provide proof of the accident claim having been settled in this matter because there was a wreck that was involved with the improper left turn. The state would be willing to give you 12 months probation. You take a defensive driving course and a $250 fine.
So question, if I pay the $250, what would be the next
The
step?
offer is that number one, you write it down, show proof of that your insurance company is taking care of the damages for this collision. Number two, that you pay a $250 fine. And number three, that you take a defensive driving class. You can take it in person or virtually. If you complete all three things, then what was the state going to do? Dismiss it?
Yes, the state would be prepared to dismiss the case.
Okay.
Is that something you want to think about while we attend our other cases right now?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, do not leave the Zoom, remain here, and we will get to you as soon as you made a decision. Okay, please mute your screen, Ms. Savage. All right, let's go on to our show cause. So I have Anthony Michael Corbett, charged with simple battery. Anthony Michael Corbett. Anyone has any information on Anthony Michael Corbett?
Your Honor, the only thing I can provide is that this defendant has an address listed on the incident report, which is also the same address listed on the citation.
All right. Let's see, this was from June 1st, 2020. And I don't see Mr. Corbett ever having, the case was arraigned on February 18, 2020. And it was reset today for a plea. No, I think it was reset today because he didn't show up for that. It says arraignment. Oh, it was reset for his failure to appear. Okay. We have a Campbellton. We have a cell number. I don't see him being, last time he was with us was released on December 5th, 2019. All right, bench warrant. Is that what you wanted, or were you going to null cross the case?
Oh, no, Your Honor, we were requesting a bench warrant on this matter. That's why I tried to make sure the addresses were complementary.
Amanda Delgado. Amanda Michelle Delgado, position number 2. Any peep from Ms. Delgado to anyone? She's not been in jail. We've got a Hollywood Road address. We do not have a return to sender. She was last to the Fulton County Jail on March 5th of 2014. What's the state saying?
Your Honor, the state is requesting a bench warrant on this matter.
Okay. Brandon McWilliams. Brandon McWilliams in 20 COV 000225 from July 8th, 2020.
Your Honor, I believe you should have received a null pros for this matter. This is a dual matter with position number 7 on the show cause calendar, and the state has determined Mr. McWilliams as having not been the primary aggressor.
All right, so position 3 is null pros. I have signed 4 null pros orders this morning, but excuse me, I've signed 1 null pros. Do you have it?
No, I don't have.
Okay, can you resend it, please?
Yes,
To
I
our
will, Your
litigation
Honor.
manager, Ms. Johnson?
Yes, Ms. Johnson.
Ms. Stallworth, excuse me,
Ms.
Amber
Stallworth.
Stallworth. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, position 3 is null pros. Bryant Norman. Announcement.
Your Honor, in this matter, it does involve a firearm. We did have an offer that we were able to extend to Mr. Norman, I don't believe I saw a return to sender, but the state is requesting a bench warrant.
Yeah, there was one.
Oh, there was one. My apologies.
It came in on March 9th. So Mr. Norman was in jail on February 17, 2022. Released, he was booked in on February 15, which is why he didn't show up the last time. He posted bond, a surety bond. The amount of $40,000. And that's all I know about him. His attorney is Renee Rockwell. Why don't we give her a call? Ms. Marshall Story?
Your Honor, I did not, Ms. Rockwell is maybe representing him on the current case. I didn't see an attorney of record as to this case. Is the clerk able to give her a call?
Yeah, we'll have her. I don't see her. Let me give you her number. On through Alpha Bonding Company. It's all just recent, so. He
Right,
might
which
just
is why he may
need
not have been represented on the current case.
some- Okay,
I'm sorry, on the current case before the court.
right, and let's go ahead. He's represented by Ms. Rockwell. Get her number. Oh, I saw it on the Odyssey. Okay, all right, we're gonna hold on Norman Bryant since we know perhaps we can find him. And Terry Porter.
Your Honor, you should have received a no process on Terry Porter.
I did, and that's signed. We're all good on that. Thank you. Ricky Tasley.
Your Honor, I'm not sure if Mr. Tasley's in court, but he has been accepted into diversion. I hope he shows up.
So do I. All right. No, we do not have a return to sender. We have a phone number, and he's accepted into pretrial diversion.
That's correct.
All right, let's see whether we've ever had him housed. No jailings at all. Okay, let's try calling him and seeing where Mr. Tasley is so that you could get this offer of pretrial diversion. Otherwise, I'll have to issue a bench warrant. Do you see his number on Odyssey? Okay. Please. I think Miss James is trying to call, Brian James is trying to call Miss Rockwell. Okay. Brian Walsh. Attorney Richard Blevins.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, sir. I'm sorry, I would have called you first. Yes, sir. Your client is Brian Robert Walsh. This was on the show cause calendar for a possible bench warrant. But as you are here, any announcements?
I thought we were on the status conference calendar, Judge, but he's present.
Okay,
Sure why we're on a bench warrant calendar.
all right. No, this was, well, we call it show cause / status conference. What's going on? Ms. Marshall Story or Ms. McCutcheon, is there an offer for this case?
Your Honor, I have had an opportunity to speak with Attorney Blevins in some detail. The defendant has another case that the state was not aware of. It seemed to have been filed as a felony. It will be heard in state court. The case has been accused and has been assigned to a courtroom. Mr. Blevins and I were attempting to work out a plea offer for both cases. The case was just recently assigned, I want to say 2 days ago, to a courtroom. The state is requesting, along with Mr. Blevins, one additional adjournment for the purposes of getting this case, the current case and the new case, both in front of an Orca judge and working out a disposition.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, what's the other case number?
So
You have the
22
CR number? Thank you.
I do 22 CR 001788 F as in Frank.
All right, is this like before Judge Morrison? Is that Richardson? I don't remember. Okay, we can do one possible reset, and that would be to, what's the earliest Friday date we can get them? Would April 22nd or 29th be a possible time frame? I would prefer 29th. I think I've got a couple of bench trials on the 22nd.
You do have a few on that calendar, Your Honor. I don't believe there's any issue with us coming up with a disposition. Just the paperwork of getting it transferred, since it's a new case, was the concern. If the clerk believes that can be done by the 29th, then I do believe that date works. Does that work for you, Mr. Blevins?
It does.
Okay, so both these cases are going to be reset to April 29th. The time will be set by the litigation managers. And if you have got a plea with regards to both cases or a resolution with regards to both cases, all the merrier. This would be 22 CR 001788F, pending a transfer from the division judge to the Orca calendar. And with regards to 20 COV 000226, which is already with the Orca division. All right, so we'll look forward to hearing from you, Mr. Blevins, and your client with regards to both cases. Of course, keeping note that we have a co-defendant case, 20 COV 000225. I don't know what was the resolution.
Your Honor,
of the case.
that was the null pros that I indicated. The state had made a determination of the primary aggressor.
All right, all done. Thank you. Okay, anything else, Mr. Blevins?
No, Your Honor, that's all I have. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Desiree Williams, 20 COV 000231.
Your Honor, I did see there was a return to sender on this
Mhm.
particular case.
Yes, there was. Anyone representing her? Nope. Maybe that's just not able to find her. I do understand the charge. Let me see. We have a cell number. We're going to try to call this number. And if it doesn't work, then we may have to consider a bench warrant. So she was just released from Fulton County Jail on March 16th, 2022. All right, so let's give her a call and see if she'll show up, because otherwise then we have a problem, okay? She had other bench warrants set aside. Yep, she was just booked into the jail on March 14th and released on March 16th for a misdemeanor case. Do we have a new case for her? A new case is 22 CR 001418F. Same situation. Do you want both cases to be possibly reset if we can reach her?
Your Honor, if the court is inclined to have that case also transferred, then I still think we'll have the issue of whether or not she's represented by counsel, but I'm happy to try and come up with a disposition for both.
Miss Helen or anyone from the PD's office, do you all recall representing a Desiree Williams in this misdemeanor case?
We do not, Judge. I was going to see if she was going to appear and see if she qualifies for the public defender's office.
Let's see now.
And Your Honor, both addresses for both cases, it has a 370 Northside Drive address as to both the 22 CR case the court just mentioned and the instant
Yeah.
case before the court.
Yeah, I know. So CR. I don't know. You know, she could have still given the same address, which may not have been a working address. I can't tell.
Your Honor, if that in fact is the
So-
address she gave and that's the
Yeah.
address to which notice was sent, we'd ask for a bench warrant then.
She had a first appearance on March 15th, not even 2 weeks ago. So she was with us. And I'm assuming she was represented by the public defender's office on, and it's been reset to March 29th, but I guess she made bond.
Yes, Judge,
Judge,
I'm looking at the bond order on March 15th of 2022. She did make a bond of a $200, looks like a $2,000, I'm sorry, good bond on the 22 CR theft by taking case.
Okay. All right, we're going to give her a call. If she doesn't respond, it will be a bench warrant. And we'll try to see if we can, well, then we have to work with both cases then. All right, so I'm on hold for positions 4, 5, and 8. Do you have the phone number for Ms. Williams?
And Judge, weren't we holding on position 6 to see if Mr. Tasley accepted diversion?
Madam Clerk, there are two, for Ms. Williams, there are two numbers listed in Odyssey. One is a home and one is a cell number.
We're on hold for 3 cases, positions 4, 6, and 8. 4 is Ms. Rockwell's client, Norman. 6 is Ricky Tasley, who is qualified for pretrial diversion. And position 8, which is to Ms. Williams. Brian Walsh, I don't know, I guess. Do we have a number for Brian Walsh?
Your Honor, that case was adjourned to 4/29
420.
for a possible plea and bringing over his CR case to the Orca
Okay.
calendar.
Good. All right, okay. Ms. Savage, have you made a decision? Ms. Javon Savage?
Yes, ma'am. So I'm currently trying to pull up my insurance information with that car from the accident to show proof that it's been cleared from my insurance company. So that's what I'm doing currently right now.
Please enter the first 2 digits of your claim.
Okay, so we'll hold.
Okay, and when I receive those, what do I do? Do I email them to you guys or what?
We will, yeah, as soon as you receive it, you're going to email it. Ms. Marshall Story, if you want to put an email in the chat to.
I will, Your
Ms.
Honor.
Savage, thank you. All right, looks like I've placed a couple of Do I have a 11:30 calendar? Oh, that's for Ms. Savage's plea. So we're just going to hold until we see what happens with the 3 cases I've got. Okay?
Thank you, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Lovett, did you have a case with us?
Oh, yes, Judge, he's with the public defender's office.
Yeah, I was just wondering whether he had a case. Otherwise, we're just going to wait until we hear from the 3 defendants that hopefully I don't have to issue a bench warrant. Okay?
Good
Thank you.
morning, good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr.
Good to
Lovett.
see you. I don't have any cases, but I'm certainly here and available should I be needed.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. We'll
Thank you.
just give it a few moments and see what responses we get. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, councils, just an update. Ms. Rockwell is aware of the case now for Bryant Norman. She is asking us to hold for a report. She's on 2 other Zoom appearances, so we'll hold for that one. Desiree Williams, we do not have, the cell number apparently is a wrong number. And so a message was left at the home number, and we are going to give it a few moments to get a call back. So I'm going to hold on these cases until I can hold no longer, meaning like if Ms. Rockwell appears and we still don't hear from the other 2 cases, then I have to make a decision. And also, of course, if we already completed Ms. Savage's issue. Contacted Mr. Tasley, and they said the caller you're trying to reach is unavailable. Right? Does anybody know what that means? Does that mean he's got a call, but the phone is off, or? Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Marshall, story on mute, unless you're talking to someone else.
No, I think it normally means the phone is off for
Okay.
whatever reason, non-payments or number has moved.
Okay.
So, Your Honor, the state would be fine with placing this on a dead docket since we were willing to offer diversion.
Okay,
If there's no additional information that can be ascertained about defendant's whereabouts.
position number 6, Ricky Tasley will be on the dead docket, subject to a purge if no responses, no activity within 1 year. Okay. All right, so that leaves us with Ms. Desiree Williams. So we're hoping that she will call back while we await Ms. Rockwell. And I gather Ms. Savage will be trying to email you some documents, correct, Ms. Marshall Story?
That's
Doing
my
that-
understanding.
doing
That's my
that-
understanding, Your Honor. I do believe, though, she still would have to complete the defensive driving course. So if
Right.
the court wants to put this on one more date, that's fine with me because she obviously can't complete the case and we issue a null process until all conditions have been completed.
Ms. Javon Savage, if you could please,
Yes, I'm
Yeah,
emailing
okay.
that right now. I just sent it, the claim settlement.
oh, okay, all right. And so Ms. Marshall Story, does it indicate that your insurance has resolved any outstanding claims for this collision?
Your Honor, it has not come through yet.
No, I'm asking Ms. Savage.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Ms. Savage,
Yes, ma'am.
does the insurance documents you sent indicate that your insurance company has resolved any outstanding claims?
Yes, ma'am. Everything has been settled.
All right, so the other 2 issue is the taking a defensive driving class and paying a $250 fine. Is this something you'd like to accept?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Once Ms. Marshall Story has received your email, she will send you some plea documents. You will have to review those plea documents, read the 2nd page, especially when it talks about if you decide to take a plea, you would have to waive certain rights. There's some yes and no responses on the right-hand side column. Circle your responses, okay?
Okay.
All right.
All
And
right.
then you'll also receive a document where it talks about waiver of counsel. You read the paragraph about waiver of counsel, and if you agree to that, you need to sign that portion. That document may have waiver of jury trial. That won't apply to your case. Just
Okay.
read the portion about waiver of counsel.
Okay.
Your,
All right.
Your Honor, if I may, I didn't want to interrupt the court, but we were willing to issue a null pros. So Ms. Savage wouldn't actually be entering a plea to the charge of
Oh, I see.
making a left turn.
I
So
see.
if she's able to complete those documents, if not, then we won't have a choice but
I
to
see.
go ahead and impose probation and have her plead guilty.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Sorry, kept thinking it was a plea. Okay, Ms. Savage, forget everything I just said.
Okay.
This is the new information. If I'll reset your case, you need to pay a $250 fine. Okay, Ms. Marshall Story, that's why I was a little perplexed. If you're going to null pros the case, I cannot authorize a fine. because entering a fine is tantamount to her being pleading guilty or no contest to a particular charge.
Then, Your Honor, if she's able to just go ahead and complete the defensive driving class, that condition will be removed.
Okay. Ms. Savage,
Hmm?
if you only take a defensive driving program and get your certificate, those programs charge between $50 to $100. I really am ballparking this very broadly,
Okay,
right? And they also offer online classes. If you're able to complete that within the next 30 days, and you submit that to Ms. Marshall Story, whose email you have, then they will dismiss your action.
okay, so let me just confirm, because this is a little new to me. So if I do the 6 months of the defense driving class within the 30 days,
No, not
I-
6 months, not 6 months. If you
It won't be
do
6 months?
one, no, if you do one defensive driving class,
one defensive, okay,
if they either do it over a period of a week or they do it one day. So it just depends which class you choose.
And you
Gotcha.
can check the Department of Driver Services website, and you should be able to find different classes either in person or online. And at the completion of the class, you should receive a certificate, which you can then email to me.
okay. And will I still be held accountable for the 12 months probation along with the 250
There
fine?
is no probation. There is no conviction. There is no nothing.
Okay,
All you have to do is once the prosecutor is satisfied with your letter from your insurance company, and you can produce a certificate from a qualified defensive driving school,
mhm,
then your case they will not prosecute you for the case. They will enter what we call a null pros, which means notice of intent to not prosecute.
okay, alrighty.
Are we on the
Thank
same
you.
page now?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I'm going to reset your case to April 29.
And Ms. Savage, if you can just recheck that document that you sent me, it still has not come through. So that's erica.marshall-story@fultoncountyga.gov. So if you can just check that before you resend another item.
Okay, I sent it to the wrong email. I miss Erica Marshall. Doing it again, sorry.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. So we have a situation, we're going to null pros Rick Tasley, and we are waiting on Miss Renee Rockwell. And at the conclusion of Miss Rockwell case, I'll make a
No,
decision
you're-
on.
Your Honor, I'm not null prosing Mr. Tasley. You were
Oh, no,
going to enter a dead docket.
We're going to put it on the dead docket. And after I've addressed Miss Rockwell's case, then I will make a decision on Miss Desiree Williams. Hopefully she'll respond to the voicemail on her home number. Okay. Let us wait.
Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry, I put a case number in the chat to Miss McCutcheon. Miss McCutcheon?
Yes, Judge, I did not see that.
Oh, no, that's okay.
And my fingers are clumsy today. I can't click on these buttons fast enough.
That's sometimes we get to that.
Yes, okay.
Mr. Lovett, I'm going to request your assistance on this one, okay? Because I don't know if this individual has an attorney, but let me give you the case number.
Yes, Your Honor.
The 20 COV 000441. And due to the particular sensitive nature of this case, I'm going to ask the host to place Mr. Lovett, Ms. McCutcheon, and myself in a breakout room, please.
Hello?
Hi, Ms. Marshall.
Hi, yes. You
Hey,
got
I
my
just want to
message?
make sure you got the email as well.
Now, I just responded back to you. Did you receive that?
Via email.
Let me see if I finished typing it. I may not have finished typing it. Yeah, I haven't finished typing it.
Okay.
What you sent me appears to be what happened with your vehicle. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, I need to know what happened if the claim was settled for the people that you hit.
So they never filed anything with my insurance company. When my insurance,
Can you get your insurance company to just draft a letter that no claim was ever submitted, but that they did obviously address the letter? I'm sorry, address your claim.
yes, okay,
Yeah, I just need something that shows either they didn't submit anything, that something didn't happen on their part, not that your insurance company did not cover it.
gotcha. Okay, will do.
All right, thank you. Now, you know, you're free to sign off.
Okay, and if anything, you'll message me through email.
Yeah, I was in the
Okay.
process of writing. Oh, the judge is back. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I'll do the order on the case, which we just discussed. So that takes care of that. And with regards to Ms. Savage, her math case is reset to April 29. Have we got the email situation squared away?
Yes, Your Honor. I need to get something additional than what she did send, but I did in fact receive what she did forward to me.
All right. And Ms. Rockwell's matter with regards to Bryant Norman is going to be reset to April 29. And Ms. Rockwell has been notified and knows that she has to attend this matter. So
Your Honor, is this set for a disposition? Is there a certain calendar it's being placed on?
It's just going to be placed on a show cause calendar and to see Oh, you know what? We'll just do it. I'm not really sure what more names I can throw out right there. I'm just hoping that Ms. Rockwell and you can reach a disposition or arraign the case and the matter goes to trial.
Okay.
Was the one with another case open?
You indicated, Your Honor, that he had been in jail and posted a $40,000 bond.
And
So-
on a felony matter, right?
You didn't say felony or misdemeanor. I'll have to take a look at that and see.
I'm sorry.
If it's a misdemeanor, it sounds awfully high for a misdemeanor bond. But if it's
Yeah.
a misdemeanor, we'll try to get it in front of the Orca court. If not, then we'll try to come up with a
Oh.
separate disposition if Ms. Rockwell is amenable to that.
Let's see now. I do apologize. I should have written all that down. I'm trying to multitask over here. Okay, all right. Yeah, it's a felony matter. So the only case that we will be resetting to April 29th is this COB case.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. The other case he had is a felony 22 CP 206675. So Ms. Johnson, if we do it on the 29th, or Ms. Starwood, is there a plea calendar that we have on the 29th, or I can make it. He will be on the final plea. Okay, we'll put him on final plea and see if Ms. Rockwell wants to entertain a plea. Okay,
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
all right. Nikki Tasley, by Wash, and so that leaves us with Desiree Williams. She has a case 22 CR 001418F that's assigned to Judge Richardson's division, and it appears that she made bond. So we are going to request that Judge Richardson transfer that case to the Orca calendar, and that her other case 20 COV 000231 be sent to her current mailing address. And this is a final request for her to appear in court. Otherwise, we issue a bench warrant on April 29th. So that will be, both cases will be set on the April 29th calendar. Show cause. You can put it on that calendar as well.
Thank you,
Okay.
Your Honor.
All right. Okay, I think that concludes our cases, or have I missed one?
I believe that concludes, Your Honor, but while the public defenders are still present, if I can just make a request to the court, as I'm known to do. Judge, we have, when there is not a probation officer present and we enter pleas, what I have noticed is happening is that we get emails from the attorneys regarding the probation paperwork. Recently, we tendered a plea, and I think Ms. James, you may be aware of this, on a case, and the private lawyer has emailed me twice regarding reporting information for the defendant. Of course, the state's not involved in the supervision of the defendants when they're on probation, so we don't provide any information. We don't have any information. And of course, if there's a probation revocation matter, then we're the advocate for the state in a probation revocation, so we don't get involved with probation. So would it be possible, there seems to be some miscommunication as far as the defendants contacting probation and knowing where to report. Can we at least have a probation officer that's on call for these Orca calendars so that if we need them, they can appear on the Zoom and provide the information to the defendants? Because when the state receives these requests, we don't have any information to provide to defendants about probation.
Well, I do know they can be found at 132 Mitchell Street, and problem is we don't know unless we get a heads up that this is going to be a probation matter. So that way the clerk's office can reach out to probation to at least be on call.
Well, when we submit the plea paperwork, Judge, it would indicate, and I just make that request, Judge, because when the attorneys reach out to the state, we cannot advise a defendant regarding where, when, and where they are to report or clarify any probation instructions to them.
All right. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to request to see if probation can be on call. Otherwise, we're going to put it in the chat feature when we take these pleas with regards to the probation office address, a contact number, and an email address.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
All right. And hopefully then there will be no excuse to say that they couldn't reach out to probation.
All right, thank you.
Because, so technically right now, if we have a known address or contact information for the defendant, we could let the defendant know that probation is going to send the defendant notice to appear at a scheduled date and time. And so that notice will be mailed to that particular address. If, however, we have questions about the reachability of the defendant, whether there's a question of address, email address, contact information, then I instruct the defendant to report to 132 Mitchell Street within 48 hours of being released. I try to give a date and time, like if it's on Thursday, I tell them to report no later than Tuesday, 9 a.m. So, so today's Friday, I tell them to report no later than Wednesday, 9 a.m.
All right, thank you, Judge.
So we tried to do it that way, but probation apparently was having an issue with if everyone's required to report within 48 hours, there may be a crowd issue or having enough staff to respond to that number coming in. So they started the request that it's going to send out notices. So that's the situation we have.
All right.
But I will get the complete address, phone, contact person, and contact number so that at least we have something that we can put in the chat to everyone, and also send it out to the Solicitor General's office so that you have the information to give out if there's an inquiry directed to your office.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. That would work.
All right,
Mhm.
all right. Miss Helen, Mr. Lovett, any questions about that?
No, Judge.
No, Your Honor, I think that makes a lot of sense.
All right, enjoy your April 1st today. I'm almost afraid to go home because I don't know what's looming in there for me. All right,
Thank
So
you, Your
y'all
Honor. Have a
take
nice
care.
All
evening
right, have a
as
good
well.
weekend,
Thank you.
everyone. Good day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
bye-bye.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.